The Legend of Sun Tzu, War and Wisdom. What if I told you the greatest military strategist in history could help you win your next boardroom battle, dodge online trolls, and dominate your fantasy football league, all without lifting a sword? Welcome to the Legend of Sun Tzu, War and Wisdom. We dive into the mind of the man who said, "Win before you fight." How did Sun Tzu turn spies into secret weapons? Why is attacking cities the worst strategy? What does squash, YouTube drama, and guerrilla warfare have in common? If you've ever wondered how to outsmart your enemies, outmaneuver your boss, or outwit your ex, this is the video for you. Subscribe now and join the army of thinkers, strategists, and walk warriors who know that the smartest battles are won before they begin. War is part of life. So said the man who could probably win a chess match blindfolded while cooking dumplings and reciting poetry. His name? Sun Tzu. Military strategist, philosopher, and the original CEO of Don't Fight Dumb. Let's rewind the scroll of time to around 500 BCE, when China wasn't yet the global powerhouse of TikTok and takeout, but a patchwork of warring states, each trying to out-scheme the other like a season of Survivor Dynasty Edition. It was the spring and autumn period, a time when everyone had beef, except it wasn't on a plate, it was on the battlefield. Sun Tzu, or Sun Wu, was born in either Qi or Wu. Historians still argue like squabbling siblings over that. But wherever he emerged, he didn't come out crying. He came out calculating. Legend has it that baby Sun Tzu refused to be swaddled unless the cloth was folded with tactical precision. As he grew, he became a master of observation. While other kids played with sticks, Sun Tzu studied ant colonies and thought, flank maneuver. He wasn't just smart, he was strategically savage. Sun Tzu's big break came when he was summoned by King Helu of Wu, who was tired of losing battles and possibly his patience. The king asked Sun Tzu to prove his military genius. Sun Tzu, never one to shy away from drama, said, "Give me your palace maids. I'll turn them into soldiers." The king agreed, probably thinking, this'll be hilarious. But Sun Tzu wasn't joking. He divided the maids into squads, appointed leaders, and gave orders. When they giggled and ignored him, he executed 2 of the king's favorite concubines. The rest of the maids, suddenly very attentive. The king, shocked but impressed. Sun Tzu, hired. Sun Tzu then penned The Art of War, a 13-chapter masterclass in how to win without breaking a sweat or a sword. It wasn't just about stabbing people better, it was about thinking better. Here are some of his greatest hits. All warfare is based on deception. Translation: fake it till you make it, especially if your enemy thinks you're weak. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Translation: outsmart them so hard they surrender out of sheer confusion. Know thyself, know thy enemy. Translation: if you're going to throw shade, make sure you've done your homework. Sun Tzu emphasized intelligence over brute force, like a nerd who keeps beating jocks at dodgeball by predicting their every move. He taught that terrain, timing, and temperament were more important than testosterone. Sun Tzu believed that a general should be still and inscrutable, basically the human version of a poker face. He also loved spies. Not for gossip, but for gathering intel and spreading fake news, centuries before Twitter was a thing. He categorized terrain like a real estate agent with a sword: open, enclosed, difficult, and deadly. Each required a different approach, and Sun Tzu had a playbook for all of them. Sun Tzu's influence didn't end with ancient China. His wisdom traveled through time like a philosophical ninja. General von Winjap used Sun Tzu's tactics to defeat the French at Dien Bien Phu, turning colonial arrogance into strategic embarrassment. Luis Felipe Scolari, Brazilian soccer coach, used the art of war to win the 2002 World Cup, proving that football is just war with shin guards. Even today, CEOs, gamers, athletes, and YouTubers quote Sun Tzu like he's their life coach. Because whether you're launching a product or a prank, good preparation beats panic every time. In the world of Sun Tzu, the battlefield is just the final act. The real war? It's fought in the shadows, between spreadsheets, scouts, and sleepless nights of calculation. According to the master, victory and defeat are decided long before the first arrow flies. Imagine 2 armies. One has done its homework. It knows the terrain, the enemy's supply lines, the morale of their troops, and even what the general had for breakfast, thanks to a particularly chatty spy disguised as a noodle vendor. The other army? Well, They're still arguing over whether to bring extra sandals. Guess which one wins? Sun Tzu's point is simple. Know everything. Know your enemy, know yourself, know the weather, the wind, the mood of your troops, and the price of rice in the capital. Because when you know all that, you don't need to guess, you calculate. And if the math says you'll lose, don't fight. Go home, bake some buns, live to strategize another day. Sun Tzu was the original fan of espionage. He didn't just tolerate spies, he loved them. He'd probably swipe right on a spy app if it existed. Why? Because information is power. And in war, power isn't just about swords and spears. It's about knowing where the enemy keeps their snacks, their secrets, and their soft spots. Spies were the ancient version of Google Analytics, except sneakier and with better disguises. Sun Tzu wasn't just about knowing the enemy. He was also a master of HR management. He believed that every soldier is different. Some are brave, some are cautious, some are just there for the free armor. A good general doesn't treat them all the same. He knows their strengths, their fears, their favorite dumpling fillings. Because when you know your troops, they don't just follow orders, they follow you into the fire. Now, let's talk about the most underrated tactic in history. Not fighting. Sun Tzu wasn't a fan of unnecessary bloodshed. He believed that avoiding conflict is often the smartest move. Why burn down a city when you can walk in and take it over with a smile and a well-placed bribe? He said the highest form of warfare is to attack strategy itself. That's right. Don't fight the army. Fight their plans. Break their alliances. Confuse their scouts. Make them think you're weak when you're strong, and strong when you're actually binge-watching from your war tent. Hold up, strategist in training. If you're loving this deep dive into the mind of Sun Tzu, where spies are heroes, terrain is a chessboard, and deception is an art form, then don't miss a single move. Hit that subscribe button, follow our channel, and click the notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop more epic tales of war, wisdom, and wok-sizzling intrigue. Because the next battle, it might just be your Monday morning meeting. Let's begin with a character who might have misunderstood Sun Tzu's teachings but still deserves a standing ovation for sheer theatrical flair. Mohammed Saeed al-Sahaf, aka Baghdad Bob. Picture this. Bombs falling, tanks rolling, and Bob standing in front of a camera, declaring with the confidence of a man who just aced a lie detector test. They are not near Baghdad. Don't believe them. Was he channeling Sun Tzu? Possibly. Was he convincing? Not even to his own shadow. Sun Tzu taught that war is like water. It flows, it adapts, it fills the cracks and avoids the rocks. Baghdad Bob, bless his heart, tried to be the dam. But Sun Tzu would have told him, don't resist the flow. Be the flow. In war, the enemy changes constantly. One day they're charging, the next they're retreating, the third they're tweeting. Terrain shifts, seasons change, morale dips and surges. The wise warrior doesn't cling to a fixed plan. He watches, waits, and morphs like a strategic chameleon. Sun Tzu's advice? Stay formless, like a ninja in a fog machine. Watch your enemy like a hawk with a telescope, but don't let them see you. Be the mystery they can't solve, the shadow they can't catch. He said, defense implies lack. Attack implies abundance. Translation: if your enemy is defending, they're probably low on snacks, morale, or toilet paper. If they're attacking, they've got energy to burn. So what do? Wait for their vulnerability. Like a squash player who lets the opponent run themselves ragged, then casually drops the winning shot. Sun Tzu didn't just fight battles, he played chess with mountains. He laid out 9 types of terrain, each with its own strategy. Let's break it down. High ground. Camp there. It's like having the best Wi-Fi signal in war. Open terrain. Face it. Visibility is key. Downhill attacks, always preferred. Gravity is your ally. River crossings. Don't strike midstream. Wait until half the enemy is across, then turn their picnic into a panic. And then there's death ground. No retreat, no surrender, just one option. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does. Think Battle of the Morannon in The Lord of the Rings. Frodo's off destroying jewelry, and Aragorn's crew is facing certain doom. That's death ground. And Sun Tzu would have nodded approvingly from his celestial command center. Now, let's talk about the Zen side of Sun Tzu. He wasn't just a warlord, he was a philosopher in armor. He believed in balance, not too reckless, not too timid, not too angry, not too soft. He warned against 5 fatal flaws in a general. Recklessness leads to destruction. Cowardice leads to capture. hot temper, easily provoked, delicate honor, easily shamed. Overconcern for troops leads to hesitation. Basically, don't be a drama queen, a scaredy cat, or a helicopter parent. Be calm, clear, and calculating. This applies to modern life too. Take YouTubers. If you get triggered by every troll comment, you'll spend your life in pointless flame wars. Sun Tzu would say, ignore the noise. Strike only when it matters. Sun Tzu's ultimate flex, winning without fighting. He believed that the best victory is one where no blood is shed, no cities are burned, and no one has to cancel dinner plans. How? Through measurement, know your resources. Estimation, predict outcomes. Calculation, weigh the odds. Comparison, know your enemy. If the math says you'll win, go for it. If not, retreat, regroup, rethink. War isn't about ego, it's about efficiency. Sun Tzu's favorite trick, deception. He wrote, when able, feign inability. When deploying troops, appear not to be. When near, appear far. When far, appear near. It's the ancient version of ghosting your enemy while secretly planning their downfall. It's psychological warfare with a poetic twist. So, what have we learned? Baghdad Bob tried to bluff without the brains. Sun Tzu would have face-palmed. War is water. Be fluid, not frozen. Terrain matters. Don't fight uphill unless you're a goat. Balance is key. Don't let emotions lead your sword. Win smart, before the first blow is struck. Deceive with style. Make your enemy chase shadows. Because in the end, war isn't just about fighting. It's about thinking, adapting, and mastering the art of not needing to fight at all. As we come to the end of this mastermind tale, don't forget to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you never miss another mind-blowing story that blends history, humor, and strategy. Trust us, you'll want front row seats to every drop.